Good afternoon. Happy Friday. What a day. What a week. What a life. What an everything, right? All right. We're going to have a nice fun day today. It's Friday. Let's relax a little bit. Let's let our hair down a little bit, right? Welcome, welcome, welcome. And we'll give everyone a minute. I wish I had some water. Well, I did have water at some point. Hey, Carol. All right, let's let everybody in. Today, we're actually going to, well, we introduced yesterday a slide deck. Like, we're trying to put together a presentation so that these calls could stay far more structured, but shorter, because starting Monday, we're going to have our Rhino Marketplace owners every single day. So our calls starting Monday are going to be me, going to spend like 10, 15 minutes, all the updates that are pertinent. Then let's go ahead and meet one of our Rhino Marketplace owners. Hey, Brian. And, let's have a little bit of fun. Let's see what they do. Let's see why it's great. Let's see what kind of offers we can get. Let's see how we can continue building our community, right? So that's starting Monday. So with that said, I want to be able to start the call with, because again, every call has so many new people on it. So I do need to make sure that every call has a certain introduction to who we are. So I went ahead and made a bit of a deck. Now I will tell you, it's very primitive, right? Like if Abigail saw me showing this, she'd kick my butt, right? So we're gonna just walk through it. We'll walk through the website. We'll take a look at the update for the numbers of this week. Mind you, it's only Friday. We have tomorrow and Sunday still. And then Monday's finally here, our first week of Marketplace making sales for our community, which is super, super exciting. So I do want to say, Abigail did email everyone that has a Rhino Marketplace to invite you to pick a slot, pick a day that you're free next week, right? We're going to fill it up, obviously, but we're letting everyone pick first. So go check your email. If you have a Marketplace on Marketplace, well, if you have your company on Marketplace, go check out immediately which day you could select because you're going to be on next week. And it'll be fun. It'll be just like this. Hi, I'm Anthony. Hey, Mike. Hey, Leon. Hey, whomever, right? Okay. So we went ahead and showed this yesterday. We're going to show it again. Let's try to walk through it. Okay. Let's see. So this is the slide deck that we had created, if it ever actually opens. I hate my life so much. Here it is. Okay, so Rhino. This. All right. So what is Rhino? Why is Rhino, right? How do I go backwards? Okay. So what we want to do is to be able that when we start our meetings, we want to be able to introduce Rhino to all of those who are new, right? Oh, Don, I got it. Perfect. All of whom are new are either being introduced to us through some type of partnership program, some type of social media ads, like whether they be on Facebook or Twitter, word of mouth. Maybe they came across our website via SEO, maybe my email marketing, right? There's a lot of ways people could come to us. And when they come to this meeting, because we really do try to make sure that everyone starts at the meeting, because then you get a certain sense of who we are. I like being able to look at everyone face to face and say, this is who we are. This is what we're able to offer, present to you. This is why we'd like you to be a part of it. In that light, it is my obligation, my responsibility to make sure that I constantly don't overlook that every single new person is the same value as every existing person. I will never, ever overlook any one person. It's just not in me, and it's not something I'm ever going to do. I hope you can appreciate if that was for you. So what I'm trying to do is create a 10 minutes introduction. All right, everyone, welcome to the meeting. Let's go through the slide deck. Who are we? What are we doing? What's our mission statement? Let's go. And this is that 1.0 version of it, right? So Rhino, wealth inequality. The wealthiest 1% of this planet own 99% of all goods and services. That did not happen fairly, nor does it allow fairness for anyone else. And we're trying to tell a story, right? That wealth inequality leads to what, right? Bribery. When wealth is so narrowly concentrated in just a small percent of hands, fairness is no longer possible. Those few with money can always buy those many without. Well, was that equal? Class structure. When COVID hit, that bribery kept open the big essential businesses and closed the small non-essential. As a result, we no longer have a middle class. Now, mind you, this picture shows a very even structure. It's because I don't have the skill set to even know how to create that. This, again, is the super duper duper 1.0 version. Abigail will make it look far nicer by next week. Now, when you have that type of class structure, what does that lead to? Dependence, right? I would like everyone to please, please, please open your minds. And it's not at anyone directly, but one domino always leads to the next domino, which always leads to the next domino. This isn't a story we're making up. We're simply telling it as we observe it, right? Dependence, with fairness and middle class both being destroyed, you're left with upper class. You're left with upper class who own government and lower class who are dependent on government, which means upper class owns lower class, right? Now, what is fascism? Fascism should be more appropriately be called corporatism because it is the merger of state and corporate power, Benito Mussolini. Now, he was not a good guy. He was like Adolf Hitler's best friend, right? Like they were doing this together. And what I believe, and the reason I picked that quote was because we are living in a fascist society. And it's not the connotations that the media throws out. Oh, like you could say Donald Trump and then put any word after it because the media has realized that anyone just believes anything. They could just keep saying everything, right? So much so that we were led to believe that that was a bad president and this one's a good one. And I unfortunately have two brain cells that work and I can see that that's opposite, right? But that's my own political view. As it pertains to fascism, what we can so clearly see, hey, Leon, no, that's cool. Leon, did you go ahead and email Abigail back? I want to make sure that you get one of the slots for next week. I believe 3 of them have been taken. I know there's 6 available. I know you emailed me about it. I know I left it purposely for you to be able to email her back. So make sure that you go ahead and check that and select your slot, right? Not yet, I will do that. Yeah, just do it because it is time. There's only 6 of them and 3 of them are gone. Anyway, what we see now is that when you have the class structure and the wealth distribution and inequality as an upper class and a lower class, where you have no more middle class and the upper class owns government and the lower class dependent on government, you basically have government and corporations as the 2 parents for an entire nation. Now, the problem with people is that because everyone lives day to day, nobody ever truly believes the worst is to come, right? So like, for instance, in Germany, if you're Jewish, you have a recent memory of really bad stuff, therefore you're always on guard against it. In the US, if you're African American or even Native American, you have a recent memory of really bad stuff, so you're on guard against it. And I'm sure you could pick those out all over the place, whether it's somewhere in Asia, somewhere in Europe, right? Whatever. The point is, only when you had something so bad already happen are you on guard against it. Otherwise, you think everything's fine. You're kind of like, you date a boy or a girl that cheated on you, you now are looking out for everyone else to cheat on you. But if you've never been cheated on, you don't really know what to look out for. You don't even think it could happen. That's fascism here in the US. This country has never had such a wealth inequality that government and corporations are literally mommy and daddy against everyone else. So we go through the day, okay, yeah, government is fine. They don't own corporations. Corporations are fine. They don't own government. Media is fine. This media says that media says that. But the point is, like that can turn. And it's like when you're driving on a road, right? And the speed limit's 30 and everyone's going 50. I'm the person saying, hey guys, we need to change the speed limit. It says 30, but everyone's going 50. And you're the guy that says, Anthony, nobody gets pulled over, so what do you care? It's not that I care that no one's getting pulled over. I care that the cops have the right and privilege and ability to pull over whomever they want, whenever they want. It's that lack of freedom that makes me nervous. It's that lack of freedom that allows me to be Paul Revere and share with everyone, this is what's happening right now. What are you going to do about it? Because the problem's when it happens, that means it's too late. So what do? Do you like getting into situations where you say, oh my God, I wish I did something about this. How could I have been so stupid not to see this happening? That might be you. That's not me. So when I go ahead and put a quote up like this, I'm simply illustrating and observing what it is that we're facing. Now, whether that's come to fruition to cause our lives to be bad or enslaved or something that I'm trying to guard against, no, not completely. It's happening, but not to the extreme that one would say, oh my God, I wish I saw that coming and did something about it. We're not those people. We are doing something about it, and we're doing it right now. So what is the line of no return, right? It's in my belief and in the belief of Rhino that we're one more lockdown or one more contested election away from government and corporations eliminating the last of resistance. Now, when you had COVID, you had all the small businesses that were deemed non-essential get locked down. How many of them have been able to reopen? Probably a small portion, right? Same thing with government in terms of, oh, this contested election, all right, those right-wingers are crazy or those left-wingers are crazy. How many of them were actually able to speak their mind and win certain conversations, right? Like there's always power in population. So if you have 50% of the nation saying an election was stolen and 50% saying it wasn't stolen, you kind of just have some people falling on both sides, right? Like some of the people that said it was stolen, they got made fun of and shamed, and vice versa. Now that we're years past that, you could say that looking back at it, maybe only 10 or 20% of the people that said it was stolen are still saying that, because so much time has gone by that they look foolish. Not a lot of people have their back anymore because people have moved on with their lives. Oh, thank you so much, Frida. People have moved on with their lives. The point of me saying that is now that that percentage is so much smaller, now that the percentage of small businesses that are still open are so much smaller, if you had one more lockdown, if you had one more of anything, it would wipe away the rest of those because the other side of it's so much larger. It's not a 50-50 fight anymore. The residue of what already happened leaves those demographics incredibly vulnerable to that ever happening again. So if we had one more lockdown, now think of it this way, right? When the lockdowns were happening, it wasn't really a lockdown, right? Like, all right, everyone should wear a mask. Okay. Everyone should 6 feet distance. Okay. You should only go to work if you have to. Okay. Certain jobs are no longer open. Okay. And you had people have concessions down the road. Child graduated, grandma's in the hospital, whatever. It was all concessions down the road. We are like frogs in boiling water, right? If government came out and said tomorrow, guys, listen. Remember how we did it? Aren't you sick of what's going on today? This is what we're going to do. We're going to lock down the nation for 2 weeks. Everyone stay home. Listen, grow up. You knew this was coming, right? What, you did it for 3 or 4 days? You could do it for 2 weeks. We're going to send all the food to your house. Don't worry. The point of me saying that is this nation would accept that. They would accept 2 weeks because we're so indoctrinated already to accept that. The resistance has been squashed to the point that the percentages that would accept it are far higher than the ones that wouldn't. It's not 50-50 anymore. Everyone's accepted that. The point of me saying this is if you tell the story of wealth inequality and distribution and class structure and dependence, et cetera, you could see that if that fascism decided to rear its ugly head and the nation said, okay, this is the way we're going to do it. We're going to lock it down so that people can't congregate, can't revolt. We'll lock it down. We'll do the fascist thing that we're doing. And then everyone will, they're going to wake up to a new life. They can't do anything about it. We own all the government. We own all the power. We own all the corporations. We own all the money. They're locked down. We have the police in the street. What are they going to do about it? Now, you might think I'm crazy, but we have guests right now that are from Australia. They'll tell you it's really ugly. Austria, it's really ugly. Germany somehow again finds themselves in this kind of situation. Really ugly. And if you think that's not possible to happen where you are, you're wrong. And the point is, do you want to really risk your life and try to find out if it happens or not? Or would you like to simply just defend the freedoms that you have been given, that you've been God-given? I don't like just giving away freedoms because I'm bored. I don't like just giving away freedoms because I was a little tired to act. I don't ever want to find myself in a position where I'm saying, Oh my God, how did I not see that coming? I should have done something. Because woulda, coulda, shoulda means you're already too late. Population. The power is always in population. It is only when population is no longer able to gather or make choices as a group that this power vanishes. We are living that. And it's a bit of an add-on, or I guess an addendum to what I just said. Once the population is unable to congregate and gather, that's when it becomes a problem. Otherwise, the population always has the power, right? If you have 1% with all the wealth, that means 99% have all the population, which means 99% outnumber the 1% 99-1, which means if the 1% all of a sudden all died tomorrow, the world would be just fine because we still got 99% of our population. The globe does not care about who has the money. The globe cares about life. The life is in the 99%, not the 1%. Do you ever stop and ask yourself, how did 1% have own everything? How is that even possible? At what point is it responsible and are you obligated that your future generations are not enslaved to such a small population, but your future generations are more or less liberated by what you do today? The point is, we're not advocating a violent revolt. In fact, we could do all of this without even raising a fist. That's how easy, not easy, that's how simple this is right now, because it's very clear cut what we need to do. It's not going to be easy, but it's very simple. And it's on us to do it. Or do we wait till we no longer can? What I'm saying is when the population is no longer able to gather, congregate, and gather and assemble like we're doing right now, that's the problem. That's when you look back and say, oh my God, do you remember when we could at least get into a group like the 500 of us and talk and share an idea? Now we can't. Now it's monitored. Now we can't do anything. Don't let it happen. Hey, Deborah. Stock market. What would happen if the population simply decided to no longer be a customer of corporate America and instead each become their own business to each other? Remember, corporate America, with COVID, the large businesses that were deemed essential ate all the small businesses. They gathered all those customers. They are the largest that they could ever be. They've grown the biggest that they could ever grow. And I'm not saying some type of hyperbole. Because they were able to vacuum up all of the customers that no longer were able to be customers of small business, you cannot grow big business any larger than they currently are. Because you do not have the physical human being population to do it. And because the wealth is so concentrated in such a small percentage of society, you cannot go ahead and say, all right, well, there's like 1 billion people in Africa that don't shop at Target. Yeah, they also can't afford to. Target's not going to make money by letting people come into their store that can't buy anything. So because the wealth is so concentrated and because big business has seen the largest of their growth, it's only downhill from there. Their growth can only decelerate, which means that you have a pending crash already looming. But more so than that, if the population, if us said, hey, listen, we don't need to go to Walmart or Target to buy stuff. In fact, we've been enslaved by you having to go to your big department stores. You've put out a business, every small business, every corner store, every mom and pop shop we've ever been a part of. Now we're all completely enslaved to you. We work for you, we take the money, and then we buy stuff from you. We're done. It is the internet age. We could source all the product that you're buying from the same places you're buying it from. And I could be a toothbrush company. You could be a hair gel company. You could be an orange juice company. And we could all be on the same platform, on the same marketplace, and simply go on and search each other. We could buy from each other. So instead of being customers of you, we could be our own business owners and customers of each other. So corporate America, see you later. Do you know what happened to the stock market? It would go down 90% overnight. You would see the biggest crash in the history of crashes. And what would happen? There'd be a wealth rebalance because the wealthiest 10% on this planet own 90% of the stock. If the market crashed because the population boycotted corporations, the wealth would rebalance overnight. Now, that's not to be confused with, does a stock market crash hurt everyone evenly, right? So for instance, in March of 2020, the stock market crashed because of COVID. Ever since then, the wealthiest have made more, they've they've absorbed more share of the wealth than any other demographic. So one would say, hey, Anthony, that's not true, because when a stock market crashes, the wealthy make all the money back really, really quickly. You're right, because the wealthy don't need to sell their stock. They can hold it because they have money. The wealthy have more money. They could go ahead and take advantage of the lower prices because they're wealthy. The non-wealthy sell their stock because they need that money now to live. The non-wealthy are worried about jobs and worried about the future. They don't have the discretionary income to buy stocks at the low price. So you're right. But all stock market crashes aren't created equal. What if the stock market crash was because the companies on the stock market lost their customers because their customers decided to go ahead and be customers of each other? And the customers decided to have the biggest renaissance of small business ever seen in the history of this world. And they said to corporate America, you guys have enslaved us and taken advantage of us for so long, we will never, ever buy anything from you again. In fact, we have a platform and we have our own marketplace and we're going to buy from each other. See you later. Yeah, the stock market would crash, but it wouldn't be, the wealthy wouldn't have the opportunity to buy it on the way up because those stocks crash because they no longer have customers. Those stocks should go out of business. Those stocks will have to go ahead. In fact, if that ever happens, Walmart and Target would have to downsize and sell off components, sell off different warehouses. Walmart would then become, say, 2,000 companies, 2,000 different companies over the next year or 2 years. We would go ahead and effectively reclaim our future. Right now, it's only in the hands of few. I'm talking about how to liberate and give it back to everyone. And that's all within our power. Now, I don't want to go ahead and sing a song of Kumbaya because most of the times I see people, right? Like some of the greatest of our time, whether it be Martin Luther King Jr. or any other person that's ever had an idea, Gandhi, whatnot. And the part that they never quite understood was a good idea only works when you're around other people equally talking about that good idea. What do you do when that person goes home? So many people probably went to Martin Luther King, MLK rallies, and then went back home with their racist friends and probably engaged in that dialect, right? Because things are never as good of an idea as they seem in the moment. You have to be able to bring them home with you. So that is exactly what Rhino is. That is who Rhino is. That is how this entire platform is built. Rhino. The platform is built for only this one reason, to create a business owner of every person and to educate the power of Rhino buying within Rhino. This is now. This is happening. Rhino coin. What would happen if everyone became a business, right? Rhino converted everyone into someone. Every business owner was another business's customers, right? Hey, you have a toothbrush stand. You have a hair gel stand. I need hair gel. I need a toothbrush. Beep, beep, beep. You're able to do that. Now, mind you, the marketplace is also going to get 2.0, 3.0, 4.0 versions where you'll be able to go ahead and purchase things in like a unison shopping cart, right? Like this from this place, this from this place, this from this place. Anyway, the point is, what would happen if everyone became a business? Like we just said. What would happen if every business owner was another business's customer? Like we just said. What would happen if all those transactions were settled in Rhino coin? Now, what do I mean by that? In January 2023, all transactions will be settled in Rhino coin. What does that mean for our businesses? Oh my God, Anthony, does that mean I can't accept dollars? Does that mean I won't be able to? No. You're sharp. Thank you so much. You know what? I feel like I'm speaking a little bit slower and going through it, right? So I'm doing my best. And you threw me off, right? So what does that mean to all the different businesses? So, oh, Ant, what about dollars? What about euro? No, all the businesses will simply have a Rhino wallet installed into their merchant account, right? We're going to allow them the Rhino wallet. What that wallet does is, okay, so you say you sell $100 of t-shirts, you come into $100. Great. That $100 immediately gets converted into Rhino coin by the Rhino wallet using the $100 to buy the Rhino coin on the free market, which will be on Coinbase and Kraken, etc. Which means the business owner now has $100 worth of Rhino coin, which means Rhino coin just had $100 worth of buying, which means every transaction is a new buy for Rhino coin, which means all of the transactions on the platform, the more of them equal the higher value of Rhino coin. Okay, but what does that mean to the business owner? That business owner now has three options. Either they can redeem that Rhino coin for that cash immediately on the open market, sell it on Coinbase or whatever, which again, the wallet will have that access to, or they can redeem it directly through us, because sometimes it'll just be easier for a company to say, yeah, we'll do it at the end of the month. Hey, Ant, we got 300,000 worth of Rhino coin. We're going to send it to you and you're going to send us 300,000. That's great. We stand behind that. Or the best option, a company will do some type of hybrid. They're going to say, this Rhino coin is really super valuable. It's going up every day. Our platform is growing every day. We've effectively created a digital economy. Look at the change that we've affected in the world. I'm not selling all this Rhino coin. In fact, I'll redeem half of it and I'm going to keep the other half of my balance sheet because it keeps going up in value. That's when we effectively made it. When we grow a platform of thousands of companies, all that stand to hold their Rhino coin on their corporate balance sheet as an investable asset, think about what Rhino coin has effectively done. It has fueled an entire platform. It is dependent and facilitates transactions globally on a massive daily scale, and it's being held as an investment on balance sheets of companies across the globe. Rhino coin will be what Bitcoin only dreamt of being. Now, like I was saying before, in terms of allowing you to bring something home with you, well, I can't go ahead and allow Rhino coin to do this and then no one to participate in it. Who, like again, we could sing Kumbaya together. Oh my God, everything's great. Do this and we'll save the world. But if only one person is making the money, then I got a problem with that. So Rhino coin is distributed to everyone on the platform. Every single person on this platform gets 50 Rhino coin every single month. Everyone on this platform gets 10 Rhino coin for every new member they bring on the platform. Every single member on this platform has the opportunity to buy as much Rhino coin as available whenever they want. Meaning your participation in Rhino coin is what guarantees the future of Rhino coin, because your participation equals the purchases, equals the transactions, equals the support of the coin, equals the hire of the coin. It's like a round robin. Where will we end up? Utopia. What if everyone on Rhino owned a successful business, right? Because all Rhino purchases from each other. We all have the same coin. We're all doing it together. We all got here together. What if everyone on Rhino equally owned the Rhino coin? The Rhino coin benefited everyone together. The population would have taken back their stolen future. I know that seems difficult to see today, right? Like, oh, Anthony, you know, another dollar in a dream. It sounds too good to be true. None of that exists. This is simple mathematics. The 1% own the corporations. The corporations are dependent on customers. We are the customers. Does that sentence make sense? Now take it a step further. If we, the customers, were no longer the customers, the value of the corporations would plummet. Wouldn't that make sense? What is a business worth if it's not making any money? What is a business worth that makes $1 trillion and then makes zero? It plummets, right? So we understand each other. Now, what if those customers all said, hey, listen, we still need the stuff we were buying from them. We still have the money to buy. How about we just buy from each other? Let's create our own economy. Let's go ahead and take back the life that should have been ours. Let's create something that our future generations can look back and say, my father, my grandfather, my grandmother, they were the ones that had the courage to do what happened. That's all we're saying. That's all, right? And what does that mean for you? You could do it in 4 easy steps. This has been made simple, right? Like, I'm the oldest of 6 boys in a big Italian family. I know what it's like to talk to a 20-year-old. I know what it's like to talk to a 2-year-old. And I can tell you something, when you speak to everyone like they're a 2-year-old, it's not offensive. It's simply just making sure everyone understands. It's making sure that you simplify everything so that everyone understands. I have a brother who's in the army, right? He's like 30-something years old. And every time I talk to him, he talks to me with all these big words. Yeah, and then the facilitation of blah, 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 blah. And I'm like, yo, that's not the way people in business talk. People in business talk like normal human beings. Oh, sorry if these words are too big for you. And it's funny because he really has no idea what I do. He's in the army, and God bless him and thank him for his service, right? But it's when people talk like that and they try to, like, I had someone in our community reach out to me and they wanted to work for me, right? Hey, Ant, I think I could be a huge value to what you do over there. Okay, great. How can you be a value? Well, I have a certain skill set that will allow me to outperform it. I go, what is it that you do? Well, I'm trying to tell you what I do. What is it that, and all that the person kept saying was that how great they are at being able to be great at a position that they could be great for. The point is, you need to simplify things into easy, actionable steps that everyone understands. Because when everyone understands what's expected of them, they know what to do. And when everyone knows what to do, they know if they're doing it or not doing it. And when they know if they're doing it or not doing it, it's a decision, which means if you could go ahead and affect the persuasion and influence of that decision and mobilize them to do it, then you all could do well. 4 easy steps. Enroll in Rhino University. And we're going to walk everyone through this. You'll then be placed on Rhino Marketplace. You simply prioritize Rhino Marketplace purchases and then share Rhinos with others, right? Easy peasy. Oh, wait, Mike. Hope I didn't get you in conflict with your family this morning, Drake. Oh, no, it's totally cool. So this is to Mike, right? So I knew that we had that call. The only thing is, so our son, Christian, when he's waking up, he does this little bit of like a blah, 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 blah. And he's not crying, but he's like notifying, like, hey, guys. And it's become such a tradition that I'm the first one in there. And he gets this big, big smile. So when he started doing that, I was in a pickle because I value our relationship and we're talking and I wasn't going to cut us off. So my fiance, who will be my wife tomorrow, went in to go get him. And then after our call, Mike, she goes, he wasn't as excited to see me. And I go, what do you mean? She goes, well, he smiled, but it wasn't the smile that he gives you. And I was like, oh. So I knew the time we had the call and it was great. So those 4 easy steps, what does it mean? What is our timeline? Because again, like MLK and like the rest, they could sing this Kumbaya song, but if they don't give you actionable steps, if they don't give you something to take home that is in your best interest, that's in the interest of your pocket, is in the interest of your legacy, and if they don't give you a timeline, then what did they give you, right? So many times people come up to me and they go, Anthony, I got this idea, but. And I go, okay, how much do you need to do it? Well, I don't know yet. How long is it going to take? I don't know yet. What's our first step? I don't know yet. So what do you really have? Like what do you have? That's not us. 24 months and we're going to accomplish this goal. Everything that we share with you, those 4 easy steps, in 24 months, we will accomplish that goal. December 2021 is today. Rhino coin is 15 cents. Not 15 cents, 1.5 cents, right? 1.5 cents. So 0.015. In January 2024, Rhino coin is projected at over 100,000. In 24 months, how many times does 1.5 cents go into 100,000? I think roughly, I don't know, 600,000 times or 6 million times, something like that. Would that change your life? If you own, say you owned 100,000 of Rhino coin today, which I think is $1,500, and it reached 100,000, you owned 100,000. 100,000 times 100,000, I think it's like $1 billion. So stay with me here. Rhino, it's time to accept our responsibility from all those whom have given us today to all those whom we owe tomorrow to. And I need to quote that because I wrote that and that sounds fantastic. So now these are the 3 easy steps on how you go ahead and participate and gather that coin. Rhino University, Rhino Partnership, Rhino Coin. This is what Rhino University looks like, and we're going to take you to it immediately after the next 2 screens. This is what Rhino Partner looks like, and we're going to take it to you immediately after the next 1 screen. And this is what Rhino Coin looks like. Now, let me say this. Rhino Coin is a free-floating coin in January 2023. Between now and then, it's a managed market. We're dictating the price, but we're disclosing the price up front. So it's not that you're going to say, okay, I bought Rhino coin at 1.5 cents, and now it's only 1 cent. You're always going to know the price of the coin depending on the month you're in. Because if you cannot trust what price you could sell it at, then how can you trust ever buying it? I've seen so many investments that are complete scams, and they bother me. And in fact, a lot of the times that I speak to all of our audience, a lot of people share with me, and people are skeptical. And I always say, please bring them to the calls. And I always say they should be skeptical. There are so many disgusting dirtbags out there that it makes my job more difficult. But it's because there's so many disgusting dirtbags that allows my job to even be possible. Because when you're a good person and everyone else is a bad person, then that makes you different, which means our entire platform is a luxury that we have because everyone else is disgusting dirtbags. And our seal, I love our seal, it's so cute. All right, so let's go ahead and do some stuff, right? So let's go on yahoo.com today, right? And we'll go search distributive marketing. Okay. So what you'll find is we have a paid ad up here, and then our first non-paid ad is us because we are that cool. And we're going to go through all the numbers so you'll see why we're doing so well. So I think the first thing was Rhino University. Now, when we had shared that Rhino is welcoming everyone and turning every single person into their own business owner, this is how that's done. So I'm going to copy this link, put it into the chat, and then I'm going to walk you through it. So for everyone that's on this call that has not completed this yet, please open this. Even if you don't complete it now because you want to continue paying attention to the call, I appreciate that. But open the link so that you have it. So submit your business. This is what the submission looks like. This then goes to our team, which does one of two things. Either you have an existing business and they go ahead and make it beautiful, contact you, make sure that you approve all the finalizations, and then you get brought onto the marketplace, or you don't have a business yet and we make one with you. All right, what is it you'd like to do? Let's go ahead and make a website for it. What would your products be? Let's go ahead and put them on it. What would your call to actions be? What's the flow? What's the look? What's the feel? Okay, we're gonna make it for you. What do you want your logo to be? Okay, we're gonna make it for you. Beep, 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 beep. Great, this is yours. You own it. On the marketplace it goes. This is what that form looks like. Guys, we've done our best to make it, I think the word idiot-proof is offensive. Friendly, we made it very friendly. First name, last name, email, what's your phone number? Is this existing or future? What's your business name? Some information about your business or business idea. If you don't have a website, just type that you need one. Do it as www.needone.com. I'm not sure if that got corrected where you don't need the www and the .com yet, but it was like that. So if your submission doesn't go through, just make sure that you put that in. That might be the holdup. Logo, if you have one, upload it. If you don't have one, click what you need. Do you need a website? Sure, we'll get, this is all free. Again, if you go back to what we're talking about, it's the community, it's the economy that we're creating, it's the coin associated with it that's going to be all the value. We're well funded. In fact, every time you purchase coin, that money goes into our funding. That money then gets used for the platform. So it's not that you're just purchasing coin saying, oh, I hope it goes up or I'm going to do this. You're effectively causing it to go up. You're funding the platform's growth, which is why I'm out here every day to show you all the new things and all the growth that we're doing day over day. Because effectively, again, I'll always say this, I don't own this. I'm simply the leader. When you go ahead and purchase coin, if I did nothing, say for instance, I didn't have a live, you didn't hear from me, you just purchased coin, wouldn't you be like, you'd be mad at me. What is this? What is Anthony doing? He told me this was going to happen and I don't see it happening. I can't speak to anyone. You would feel ripped off. In that light, I essentially work for you. I work for everyone, and I'm okay with that. I want to work on behalf of everyone for the future that we're going to have together. Website, logo, and then you submit. So upon your submission, you'll go to Rhino Marketplace. This is what Rhino Marketplace looks like. And I want to call out Brian on this. So Brian, yesterday we talked about if we would get over 24 for next week. We're at 24 right now. Now, if everyone remembers, we had 5 last week. We launched 3 weeks ago. We said this was the first week that we'd really actively be bringing on our businesses. 24 businesses from 5 is quite impressive. Even more so, and this is the coolest thing. I know, right, Brian? We coded our own algorithm as our own search engine, okay? Now, this is the 1.0 version, but I want to share with you the power of what we're doing. Now, what's going to happen is each company we're going to have 100 keywords for. We're going to go through the website. We're going to see the look and feel. We're going to come up with our own keywords. We're going to copy and paste some of the important tidbits of your site. We're going to reach out to you and have you contribute 25 or 30 of those keywords. We're going to come up with a couple of sentences. We're going to do so much for your one company that when somebody goes to the search bar and they type in anything that is relative to your keywords, your company's going to come up. Because what you can very clearly see is that this website is going to grow to thousands of companies. So how can thousands of companies benefit? That's almost too many. How can anyone come on this and say, all right, I want to, then we get lost in the time. What if our marketplace was Amazon? And that's a term that we're coining. We created the Amazon of businesses. So on Amazon, you go on Amazon and you type a product and a bunch of those products come up. What if you came onto our page and say you wanted a copywriter, right? Okay, this freelance persuasive copywriter. Okay, so let's click it. What does this person do? Online Marketing Academy, Elizabeth Kozeska. That seems pretty cool. Let's go check out her website. Now, right away, we know she's a Rhino. She's one of us. We're all here. Guys, I must say something. We all came onto this platform the same exact way. I spend every day here because I'm a couple of things. One, I'm obligated to give everyone the same experience because it's in that obligation that I allow us all to continue to grow at the same pace. But secondly, the fact that we spend so much time together, think about it this way. I bet you right now, the sentence, oh, well, she's one of us, already is resonating with you. You're already going to prioritize her over some random person on Google. You know why? Because she's a Rhino. Yeah, of course I would prioritize a Rhino over anyone else. Why wouldn't I? And look, this is a really nice, amazing site. Like, that makes me so happy. So let's go back. Let's see what else we have, right? So say I wanted to do a merchant account, right? Oh, cool, merchant accounts. What's this company do? Merchant accounts for e-commerce. Guys, I wrote merchant accounts and look what came up. We actually have that. Now take that and multiply it by thousands. That's the power of this search bar. That's the power of what we're doing. Now, when that happens and you have thousands of Rhinos, all each with their own company, do you think any Rhino will ever go to Google and type something in? Or will they always go to Rhino first? They'll always go to Rhino first. Now, also, every time they go to a Rhino company and purchase something from that Rhino company, that transaction is facilitated by the Rhino coin. Therefore, every transaction increases the price of Rhino coin because it's effectively buying the Rhino coin. Therefore, if we allow the membership to move higher, the businesses to move higher, the transactions to move higher, it hits a point of scale where we become our own ecosystem that everyone says, yeah, I'm Rhino, I buy from Rhino. You can hear that sentence right now, and it's only week 4. And starting next week, starting Monday, our calls are going to be introducing a business owner of Rhino every single day. That morning email is going to be, hey guys, you can't wait to introduce you to Leon tonight. At 2 o'clock, Leon's going to be on and introduce why his company's so great. I spoke to him already, and he has something really special for us. Here's his website if you want to check beforehand. Can't wait to see you at 2 o'clock. Then Leon comes on at 2 o'clock, shares his entire company with all of us. And I really would like everyone to have a special offer ready for Rhino. So I'm going to keep using it as an example. And I know how we all do business. We can all find a way to have a special offer for our community. So I'm saying this out loud. It's not mandatory, but you should do it, right? So Leon does his show. We get to meet him. We get to walk through his company. We get to walk through the website. And if for those who purchase right now, Leon's going to do this. And there's the link. Now, the next morning comes around. Not only do we introduce the new company that will be on that day, but at the bottom of the email, hey, if you want to catch the replay for Leon yesterday, here's the link. And here's here's the special offer. It expires by 12 o'clock today, right? Or expires within 2 days, which means, and mind you, that replay is uploaded onto our YouTube page, right? That we haven't even done marketing for, but if you go on the YouTube, you'll see all of the videos right there. So this company presumably came in as a regular person. now is on the marketplace, now is being introduced to the community, now is having his replays sent via email to everyone, now is having his or her company on our YouTube, all the while collecting sales, building an email list, building a customer list, and growing and growing and growing with the actual ecosystem. That's amazing. And my point in saying what corporations have done is that they've done this. It's not, Target didn't start as Target. Target started as one company. McDonald's didn't start as McDonald's, it started as one company. Effectively, what these companies did was they played Monopoly, right? They played Monopoly, they bought this, they bought this, they bought this. And by the time they were done buying everything, you lost. But in Monopoly, what do you get to do? All right, next game. Can you do that in real life? Can you just say next game? We're proving you can, because that's exactly what we're doing. So this is the marketplace. Now, Rhino Partner. I'm going to put this link in our thingamajiggy as well. Thingamajiggy. I was doing so well in our chat. So if you're not a Rhino Partner yet, you should be. I don't know why you wouldn't be. Now, I'm not on incognito, so this is going to pull up my account, which is fine. But if you were on incognito, or if you were not currently a part of Rhino Partners, which some of you are not, so you should be right now, we'll give you a second. This comes up with a screen asking for your name, your last name, your email. Upon inputting that data, you get this link. Now, this link is your partnership link. So when you offer that to somebody, this is where it takes them, directly to our page. You're rewarded 10 Rhino coin for every time someone then clicks this button and joins our meeting, which is what you're on right now. Because we want to reward the Rhino community growing larger. And we believe the best way to do that is to allow someone to be a part of what we do. If you could bring someone and allow them to be a customer of one of your other Rhino neighbors, why wouldn't you? You should be rewarded for that. And that's what we're going to do. Now, that takes care of that. Let's get into Rhino Coin. Now, for those that are new, Rhino Coin is the only asset on the entire globe that allows you to see the balance sheets in real time, along with 112 weeks worth of projections in all real-time data. So let's go ahead and click it, right? So as of right now, so let's go through it, right? This is the calendar. This is weeks. This is how many weeks, right? Week 1, 2, and 3 are yellow because they've already been completed. Week 4 is green because we're in it right now. And then this week, week 60 is green because this is January 2023, where the coin then becomes free floating. So this number is what we project it to be worth based on all of these numbers. Now, all of these numbers could be quite confusing. What are they, right? So this is the weeks. This is the high view in traffic. So what day of the week had the most views? So far last week, we had a day that had 570 views. This week, we've only had a day that had 422, and that was yesterday. So hopefully we could go ahead and surpass that number, because we want to always make sure that we have as many views as possible. Now, what's a bit misleading is this day of 570, we sent 2 emails, meaning the people that got the first email might have clicked, and then people that did not receive the first email but saw the second email might have clicked. Therefore, this 570 is a bit misleading, but I kept it there because I really truly believe we could still beat it. We're at 422. Let's see what today brings, but we'll see what happens. Webinar registrants. So what you're on right now is our meetings, AKA our webinars, and our week 1, 185 people were registered, 217, 254, 310. You can see the growth week over week of all the new people coming to the platform and actually participating on these calls. I'm speaking right now to over 100 people. The members of the platform, this is our webinar registrants, plus all of our partners, plus all of our Rhino Coin purchasers, plus all the investors that own the company, plus all the leads brought in through the affiliates, 363. Now, what I would like to do, and I'm going to bring your attention up, see this number 17? This was originally 15. Our projections were a growth rate of 15% week over week. What we've seen is we have a growth rate of 17% week over week. I want to see what our growth rate currently is for this week. So 363 minus 310 equals 53 divided by 310 equals 17.096. Meaning if no one else joined our platform this week, we've already met our recent growth trend, which means we're exceeding expectations still in week 4. Rhino Marketplace businesses, 555, 24. Now, granted, we hired our team 2 weeks ago. We made sure to train them, and look how beautiful the marketplace is, right? We've done everything so wonderfully and with such consideration and care and thought. To have 24 businesses right now is really quite impressive. How many transactions? 0. We never expected to have transactions yet. In fact, we plan on our transactions starting next week. Again, because we're introducing our business owners. We're going to be actively, I don't want to say pushing for sales, because we're not taking advantage of anyone. We're simply going to be spreading awareness with the goal that if we can go ahead and match up somebody that is looking for a particular product with somebody that's selling that particular product, that we could facilitate that and we could book that sale as a Rhino sale. Now, if each sale is $27 per sale, which is just a number that we're using as a guide, well, this many sales times that amount of money equals this much in weekly transaction. This number right here is how many, so every member of the Rhino platform gets 50 coin per month. So if you take this number and multiply, or if you take this number and multiply it by 50 with a trailer of the month before it, you'll get this number, minus the 50 million, right? 50 million is kept within Rhino to go ahead and fund all of the expansion going forward in terms of new employee incentive programs, growing out the departments, because everyone wants to be part of Rhino. It'd be quite silly that the only people that didn't own Rhino were the employees of Rhino. In fact, nobody ever in the history of the world would want to be a customer of a company that no one in the company was an owner of, right? So that's how that number works. This number is how much coin's been purchased by the members of the platform, because everyone could continue purchasing coin. Because what everyone in this platform has noticed, and I'm really, really appreciative because I'm able to message this quite nicely, is that the value of the coin, the cost of the coin today at 1.5 cents, when you understand what we're doing, and now that you have the benefit of seeing 4 weeks, think about what week 12 is going to look like. Think about what it's going to be like 4 months from now, 5 months from now, when you actually have hundreds of companies, when you're making thousands of sales every single week, what the value of a coin is going to be. Now, mind you, for the next year, the coin is a managed market. So we're probably going to be selling it far less than it ever should be worth. That being said, these people all see that, and they've all been purchasing coin hand over fist. In fact, 17.23 million additional coin has been purchased by our members. Up until this week, that's been an average of $15.15 per member per week. That growth rate is probably, maybe it's actually stayed. I don't know, we'll calculate it at the end of the week, but it might have actually grown that every member spends at least invests at least $16 a week in Rhino coin. And that's a good thing. This is the literal value of the coin. If you take the weekly transactions and divide it by 1 billion, which is the supply of the coin, this is the number you'd get. Sorry. This is the demand ratio. How much coin is owned by the members? How much coin is owned by the investors? What's that equal divided by 1 billion? That's how many people want to own the coin. The reason why that demand ratio is important is because there's only 1 billion coin. So when we get to week, it looks like week 53, where that billion coin is gone. Now, mind you, we're on week 4. Week 53, we're projected to have no more coin left. Then what's the demand ratio? Well, demand ratio is 1. Over here, it's 1.05, right? Well, do people all of a sudden stop wanting coin because it's gone? No, they continue to want coin. That means this demand ratio is going to continue to go up. And this demand ratio is calculated based on the growth rate of this in the preceding 51 weeks. Meaning we've effectively found a way to calculate every single variable so that we constantly know the most accurate forecast and projection of what this coin is going to be worth. This is the growth rate. Every 3 months, what's the growth of the platform? Well, obviously, we don't know that. We haven't had any transactions yet. Now, we could also say that it's not going to be the exact same growth rate every week. That's going to change as these transactions come in. Mind you, next week, we could very easily do over $1,100. That wouldn't be difficult. And if we did, the numbers would increase quite significantly. So for the next year, well, actually, let me first show you how the coin's calculated, right? So you take all these numbers and calculate them together to equal the most accurate forecast of what the coin could be worth. So if you take the weekly transactional volume divided by the Rhino coin supply of 1 billion, then you multiply that by the projected demand ratio, which is simply the Rhino coin monthly member disbursement trend plus Rhino coin weekly purchase trend divided by the total supply. You then take that number and multiply it by the 3-month growth rate in weekly transactional volume. Now, I know that was a lot, and you're like, Anthony, like I have no idea what you just said. If you just stick with me a little bit, you would have seen we described every single one. And when you get down to these numbers, like say, for instance, like right now, the projected price of Rhino coin 112 weeks, which is January 2024, is 1.8 million. Now, mind you, 8.3 billion members on the platform we're probably never going to get. I don't think there's 8 billion people in the globe. So as these numbers get larger, the compounded growth rate's going to decelerate. In fact, this week, we're going to spend some time inputting those inferences, what we believe them to be. We just need to see what the numbers are, because currently they were 15%, then they're 17%, now they're going to be 18%. They're accelerating. So where do we allow it to start decelerating, right? Long story short, if you take a look at this number and take a look up here at the formula, you'll see all of these numbers are calculated together, all the numbers I just described to you, which means every one of these numbers equals the calculation for this number. Why is that important? Well, every number is a consequence of the preceding number before it. Every number is calculated on itself and on the number before it to equal the number after it. What am I talking about, right? So look at this number, 1.8 million, right? Remember, 1.8 million, 1.8 million, 1.8 million. Okay. Now you see the members we have on the platform, 185, 241, et cetera, et cetera. Let's say next week, all of a sudden the membership drops to 10, right? Does all those numbers just change? Watch. We're going to do it again. Say it drops to 10. Look at all these numbers. They all change. Because the most important part of the platform is the members. Without the members, you don't have the businesses. Without the business, you don't have the transactions. Without the transactions, you don't have the value of the coin. Without the value of the coin, you don't have people owning the coin. Without people owning the coin, you don't have a demand ratio for the coin, right? You need the members. Therefore, this number is the most important number. It's calculated this equals this, equals this, equals this, equals this, equals this, which equals this, like a typewriter, which equals this, which equals this. Now, you remember that number of 1.8 million? It's now 1,000. It went from 1.8 million to 1,000. Why? Because if this number drops to 10, then the growth rate is highly decelerated, and we have to work our bottoms off to get it back to where it was. You know how long that'll take? That will take weeks and weeks and weeks, assuming we're even able to do it. All right, Ant, that was a bit extreme. Let's say week 37, you really only have 10,000, right? You don't have that 21,000 you're talking about. Okay. So now the coin's worth 398,000 rather than the 1.8 million, rather than the 1,000. The point of what I'm trying to share with you is because this sheet is updated in real time, and because all these calculations are calculated against the number before it and calculated 112 weeks out, you will always know what the value of the coin is in the future. Meaning when you purchase the coin at 1.5 cents, 2 cents, 3 cents, what you're effectively doing is investing into this platform, allowing it to grow while having the benefits of exactly knowing what the growth looks like. Again, a lot of times people have to get their frame of mind out of what's been out there, how everyone's looking to scam them, how everyone's running really shitty operations, right? I'm not the owner of this. I'm one of you. I just have the vision to say, this is what I want to do. And I believe other people will understand what I want. And I believe I can find enough people that understand and agree. And that I believe by doing so, we could go ahead and do it together. I just need to work my butt off and constantly sharing awareness with everyone so that when I have enough people that become aware, they start sharing it with other people. And then we all grow to heights we never thought possible. That's my job. How it benefits you is the fact that because I sincerely take the stance that I'm simply just one of us, the coin's not mine. I don't own any of this. It's completely crowdsourced. Everyone has the opportunity. I'll tell you something. I don't even know how much coin I own. I haven't even taken an allocation of coin yet. I haven't even thought twice about it. I own 56% of my company, Rhino Research LLC, which operates the platform, which allows the coin to be on it. But I don't own any coin. I want to own coin. 17 million coins owned by other people. In fact, when you take, here, I'll show you. So also on our Rhino coin page, you can see our ledger. Our ledger shows you who owns what. Rhino owns 50 million. Again, that's for all the future employees and incentive programs. Anthony's name's not here. In fact, we do have an Anthony, but that's not me. What you can see is a lot of people own the coin because a lot of people, I don't want to say smart enough because I feel like that's offensive to people that don't agree with me. But a lot of people have the vision to say, yeah, I want to own that. I could own that right here. Why wouldn't I? In fact, look at all the new buyers just this month alone, right? So lastly, on this page, I did share with you, yes, you could sell it at any point. Well, how would you sell it, right? Rhino coin, scroll down, ready to sell. Okay, my name is Anthony. My last name is Calichone. My email is anthonycalichone@rhinoresearchllc.com. I'd like to sell in June at 7 cents. Again, it's a managed market. You will always know the price you're selling at. I would like to sell 10,000. Yes, I'm requesting to sell. Yes, I viewed the terms and conditions, right? All right there. It's in my speak. There's no fine print. Blah, it's right there. Yeah, I'm not a robot. Now that comes directly to me. That sell order goes into that month. When we go into that month and we offer coin out, your coin gets purchased. Your coin is what the coin that's being sold. That money then goes to you before Rhino goes ahead and starts participating in that coin, right? So every month, every day, we're constantly offering coin. For those that purchase the coin goes to the company. But if we have an individual requesting to sell, we make sure that that next coin that comes in, the money that comes in, make sure that we send it to you. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Ant, why wouldn't everyone sell? That sounds like a great idea. I could buy 1.5 cents today, and I could sell in February at 3 cents. I could double my money just by simply playing this game that you got going on. Yeah, you could. And you know what? I'll be so happy to buy it from you at 3 cents. Everyone will be so happy to buy it from you at 3 cents because if you decided to sell in February, when by that point we probably have 150 businesses and we're doing 10,000 a week in transactions, if you want to sell at 3 cents, knock yourself out. In fact, we'll all thank you. Okay, so how do you get the coin? We're going to copy the link and put it into the chat. Everyone, please, please, please. It's 3:03. I'm going to be done at 3:10. Click this, please, and let's do this together. I really wish I had a water bottle. Okay, everyone there? All right, let's go. Get the Rhino coin. What you'll see is this is the price for the next year, right? Managed market, 2 cents in January, 3 cents in February, 4 cents in March, and then January 2023 is a market price, whatever the market is. We're just simply managing the market till we get there. You're able to purchase Rhino in $100 blocks. What we recommend, well, we can't recommend anything. What I think is a good idea is to purchase $1,000 worth. Well, actually, really 1,500 because that gets you 100,000 coin, and then you could just be done with it. I have 100,000 coin. You're pretty much set for life. But let's just say you did $1,000, right? So $1,000 is 10 times 100. So you're buying 10 $100 blocks, right? 10 times 100 equals 1,000. So purchase. Now you'll come to the next screen. Now that says 20. That's because I bought 10 yesterday. So your screen will say 10 times 100 equals 1,000 equals subtotal 1,000, right? Now, before you continue, please take note of SSL secure shopping. This is the only way anyone should ever buy anything on the internet. This is the most secure form of shopping, meaning that your funds, your transaction is completely secure. Checkout. Now, at your checkout page, you'll have the opportunity to put in your details, right? This is my email. This is my first name. This is my last name. This is my address. Now it's my address, right? This is my city, this is my country, this is my state, this is my zip code, and this is my phone number, except it's not really the last 3 digits. Like this really isn't my address too, in case I fooled it. Continue. What you'll see is free delivery. Your shipping is going to be an email. Immediately upon your purchase, you're going to receive an email with an invoice that goes ahead and confirms exactly what you just did. On top of that, by the end of the month, because we send it out at the end of every month, you'll receive a Rhino certificate, fully certified. Our company seal, your name, the amount of coin you own, my signature, and the price of the coin, completely certified. You will receive that at the end of every month, regardless of what coin you purchase, because you will always have an updated certificate, because in January 2023, when we go ahead and release the coin on Coinbase or wherever, we're going to send you an email. Hey, the coin's finally released. Go ahead and set up an account on Coinbase and send us your wallet address along with your most recent certificate. We'll receive that and say, okay, Michael has 100,012 coin. This is his wallet address. Bing, bing, bing. Let's confirm it. Sent. Now you have your coin. And we also do that for a lot of security, right? What is the reason for any of us to have to worry about that today? Coinbase is going to make sure that you're completely secure in the crypto world. We don't do crypto. We're not experts in crypto. We're experts in building a company and taking back our freedom. But why not let them do that stuff? So as it pertains to security, am I owning a coin? Who's doing it? Who's guarding it? What regulations? What security? Take a look at Coinbase. Okay. Then upon clicking continue, you get your payment information, whether it's your credit card, debit card, whatever. Simply click it, click continue, and then you're going to come review and place order, and then you're done. You could then go ahead and check your email. You'll have the invoice immediately. And then usually the next day you're up on the ledger because I do it every day. But tomorrow I'm getting married, and it's been voted on by our community that nobody wants to see me tomorrow. In fact, they say I work entirely too hard, that Anthony, don't worry, we're all going to be on the calls next week to support all of our businesses, because it is a really big week for Rhino and it's a big week for everyone. And we're going to make sure you know that your attendance will be noted next week. If all of a sudden we go through all week and everyone just decides to haphazardly come and go as they please, I'm going to be a little offended, and I'm going to try harder to increase our membership amongst other people that might actually participate, right? I know that sounded mean, and I'm okay with that. It's my job to be mean. I'm working on behalf of all of us. And I'll tell you another thing. When a year goes by and when 2 years go by and we're all high-fiving at the value of the coin in the thousands, everyone's going to look back at me and say, oh my God, I wish I bought more. You know, Ann, if I had a time machine, I could go back to when that coin was 1.5 cents. Ah, you remember that was 1.5 cents? It's now $372. What I would do for that. This is your time machine. I already know what we're going to do. You already see what's being done, and it's only week 4. If you do not have the vision to see what's going forward, I cannot give it to you. You're only going to gather it or earn it as the weeks go on, which means the price is only going to go higher. So if I can give you one piece of advice, whatever money you have laying around, seriously consider getting some Rhino coin. So that's it. Guys, I hope everyone enjoyed our time together. Tomorrow I'm getting married, 5:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. My fiance, I'm going to make an honest woman out of her. And the next time we see each other, I will have a ring on. I don't right now, but I will next time. So I seriously love everyone. I mean, you can't do what I do unless you truly love what you do and the people you do it with. Because anybody that knows me knows I take every phone call. I'm constantly available. I was speaking to Michael at 6:30 a.m. my time because it was convenient for him in his Swedish time. And I'm on every call. I'm on every live. So love everyone. And I have a booked call with Don on his program, Monday, 11:30 a.m. So really, really cool stuff, guys. Love you. I'll see you Monday. Bye.